Manager of KTM. This is all new for you, being a team manager. I would say it's happened quite quickly. You were only a mechanic 3 or 4 years ago to Tom Via.
Only 2
Just
years ago.
2 years ago, even quicker than I thought. Just talk me a little bit about your journey really in such a quick space of time. Did you expect to get this role so quickly?
No, never. Never, ever. I come to Europe 5 years ago to be a mechanic and to, experience Europe and work. I always wanted to work with like the best team, and I was lucky that I was working for KTM in Australia, so it's kind of everything worked out well, and I was super lucky to land with Tom and with Dirk Grubel and Vale, and like a big group of people. So it's been a pretty cool journey.
Yeah, and obviously the last two team managers would have been Dirk Grubel and Antonio Crowley. Just how much were you able to learn off them through their guidance to do the role yourself?
A lot, yeah. Dirk taught me a lot. He was a really great. Tony, as a rider, and getting to work with a guy who has 9 world championships is pretty unreal. And then also Joel Smets. Smets is like a rock for us in our team. So, between those three, and then you throw in Valentino Ragni, who's been at the races for 20 plus years. My big boss Pitt and Robert and all those people. It's a pretty cool opportunity.
At the same time though, pretty big boots to fill.
Yeah, definitely. This team comes with its own type of pressure. It's 15 MX2 championships in 20 years. So, you've got Jeffrey Herlings and Liam Everts, Andreas, returning world champ. So there's definitely a lot of pressure, but we all do a job a certain way, and we all have a process about how we do it, and it's pretty cool.
And just on Hawkstone today, 2 moto wins for Jeffrey Herlings, his first race back. I wasn't quite sure what Jeffrey Herlings would see today. Are you pleasantly surprised that he was able to win 2 out of the 3? It's just definitely a good starting point.
No, for sure. Awesome. He hasn't been on a bike that long. It was a really difficult year last year with injuries, and when you combine that with the last couple of years, it's been a really tough off season. Definitely the injuries took longer than we had planned to heal. So yeah, and a couple of hole shots, good starts. Obviously not the whole field is here, but there's February, Siwa, Glenn, there's some good.
It was fast out there.
So I'm pleasantly surprised, and it's just another little step in getting back to full speed.
And I think the very big positive, 1 hole shot, and then he was the first 450 out in the super final. That's rare for Jeffrey Herling, so keep doing that.
We haven't had a hole shot for a long time, so hopefully we can keep that going. Obviously, like I said, not the whole field is here, but still is a good confidence booster.
And obviously Andrea Adamo had an unbelievable year last year, World Championship, a goal achieved really. What's his winter been like? Do you think he's made a step? And especially, I think he's obviously very good in hardpack. I was there in France last year in that second moto, but obviously the sand is probably the area he needs to take a little step in.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the races from last year, the sand was an area where he did really well compared to when you looked at the year before. He took a step, and I think this year, we've been working a lot on the bike and setting things up for him. So I hope that all that works and we can, take another step. And it's going to be a tight MX2 group this year. Everybody feels like they, have a piece at it. So it's going to be an interesting year.
And just on Liam, obviously it's sad about his injury. Can you give us an update on that? Do you think he'll be able to race in Spain the second round? And just before his injury, it did look like he took another step throughout the winter
Liam
as well.
Had a really good winter. He's done all the right things, and we worked on some stuff that we've seen last year. He had a great year last year. He was fighting for second in the championship. Fortunately, he had a few difficulties at the end, but I think he took a step. Anytime you can have a year of good building, good work. It's his second year in the team, so it definitely helps. And unfortunately with his injury, we're hopeful that he's going to be back to Spain. That's the plan. We do everything we can to be there, but it's an injury. You always need to wait and see.
Last but not least, little Sasha, little crazy Coenen. What's his winter been like? He looks a little bit taller now. And has he been working maybe a little bit on riding style to smooth out a little?
Yeah, I think he's made some steps, and he looks much more, complete. I'm not sure if he's grown so much.
Really? He looks, in the photos, he looked a little bit taller.
Yeah, he does. He looks more solid. Like on the bike, he doesn't look as small.
Okay.
So if he can put it all together, the boy's fast. He's really fast. So if he can keep it on 2 wheels and keep keep building on those things that he worked on in the winter, it should be a good year.
And just on Factory KTM, obviously you guys have 3 MX2 GP guys, which I think is really good. Only 1 in MXGP, and obviously Herlings injuries happen, unfortunately. Not always his fault. In the future, would you maybe like to sign up at least 2 MX2 GP guys?
Yeah, you never know what the future holds. You know, we have a year this year, and we have a great bunch of riders, and you know, a lot of these guys we're going to have for a long time in the future. So, you know, how it all looks, I'm not sure, but we've got a really great group of riders and a great group of guys this year, so we're excited.